Welcome to the Plant-Based Podcast. Did you know that plants are truly amazing? Not only can you grow them and eat them, you can also wear them, drink them, nourish your skin with them, and so much more. Let Ellen and Michael inspire you to love plants as much as they do, as they chat with the movers and shakers in this wonderful plant-based world. So, let's dig in.
Hey Ellen, you're getting really patriotic this year. I've seen recently you've planted up a British patio container with only British grown plants.
You are absolutely right, I did, and it's a very beautiful British patio container pot at that. And all the plants in the container were from Hillier Garden Centres.
I know, gorgeous lavender, you've got that lovely perennial candy tuft as well. Do you like mine though? I've got that lovely golden acer. Are you jealous?
I am not jealous because mine is nicer than yours. So I planted up a really nice, cool, calming, well-being kind of pot, and yours was fiery and vibrant, wasn't it?
Wow, absolutely. And those plants were from Hillier Garden Centres, and then they actually support Series 7 of the Plant-Based Podcast.
And did you know that Hillier actually nurture over 1 million top quality plants each year at their Hampshire nursery? Hillier are your go-to for quality British grown plants.
So why not visit hillier.co.uk to shop now, or search Hillier Garden Centres on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, and you'll get loads of inspiration for creating your ideal garden or outdoor space. Welcome to the Plant-Based Podcast News.
Your horticultural news roundup for the week.
A greener garden could be the key to boosting a home's value, according to a poll which found 57% of Britons would pay more for a property featuring top-grade greenery. A survey of 2,000 adults found that many considered a tidy front garden to be a key feature, with 62% claiming that it attracted them to properties above other factors such as the condition of the roof, even.
A woman has sparked a debate on social media after claiming that she has grown her own collection of plants by taking pieces off of the plants she encounters in businesses. Ray, who goes by the username @Ray, RAAEE _ on TikTok, made the claim in a video posted this week, in which she could be seen sitting at a restaurant table and snapping a branch off a nearby hanging plant. When someone asks, "Where do you get all your plants?" the TikToker wrote in a text caption on the video, which saw her laughing as she placed the leafy branch in front of her.
Oh my gosh. So, Gardener's World star Adam Frost has detailed a new project away from the popular BBC series, but he's insisted he won't be sharing gardening tips as part of this new show. Adam is touring the UK later this year to talk about his adventures in gardening and design, and you can find out more on Adam's Instagram account, Adam Frost Design. And I've actually seen one of his speeches at Southport Flower Show a few years ago, and it really is a fun evening, so book up if you can.
Now, the Flower Trials has just closed its greenhouse doors to trade visitors. Thousands of people attended from all over the world and viewed new ideas and plants from all the top breeders. Standout plants included double-flowered alstroemeria, new metallic leaf begonias, and bee-friendly summer annuals. And you can most definitely find out more on Mr. Plant Geek's Instagram account.
Thank you very much for that surreptitious advert. Rewilding is not just for toffs, as 1 in 5 councils in Great Britain get on board. From Somerset to Derby, councils are rewilding rivers, parks and golf courses, despite claims by some that it is only for wealthy landowners. Councils, amongst the largest landowners in the country, have not usually been viewed as part of the rewilding movement, which is usually dominated by high-profile examples such as the Knepp estate in West Sussex and large-scale projects in Scotland. Ellen, honestly.
Hey, you know, in the news just now, there was this Ray on TikTok who showed that she grows all of her plants based upon taking cuttings from plants. Like if she's been to a restaurant or a business where they have plants. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I'm sure I have. Yeah, we recently did it on QVC actually, because there's this plant called Orostachys, which is like a Chinese hat. When it comes up to flower, it looks like this kind of Chinese, like a tower hat, and it looks really cool. And we just looked at it and we just knew it was cool. And like backstage, one of the backstage girls who's really into plants, we were like, oh, should we take a cutting? So we just did. But she really, it wasn't even like a cutting in a handbag. She actually like potted it up properly in gravel-like soil as well. And I was just like, what? Okay, that's pretty cool. So yeah, so we actively, stole some cuttings off a plant. But we actually, you know, we didn't just take them in a handbag. We potted them up on site and just strolled out with the pot. So yeah, we did that. But
you've given away all the secrets.
I know. But to be honest, I don't do it that well. I think sometimes, like, I love my garden, but my garden I've just created so that it looks, you know, nice enough to spend time in. I haven't filled it with prized plants. Like, you know, I feel in my heart that's to come when I've got like another property where I want to be for a longer time. So I think kind of I'm not that emotionally attached to the plants I have in this garden. It sounds so cold, but you know what I mean? It's not like I have deep, you know, specialist collections. And also when I do move, which inevitably I will, I don't want to have to move or take anything. So the plants I have are very much the ones that fall in my lap. I don't necessarily seek out specific ones that often. So yeah, but the moment I have a garden that I am, you know, obviously going to stay in and have specialist plants in, I'll be nicking plants from everyone. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever specifically nicked plants from anywhere, but I have.
How did I know you do that?
No, but I have divided plants and taken cuttings from plants if I've moved house. So in our old house, we'd like established a garden over about 11 years. And there were some plants in there that I really didn't want to like let go of. But I also didn't want to remove them because they're there, they're established, they're happy. Like the new owners will love them, hopefully.
Just split.
So I did divide. Yeah, I did divide them. I did take.
But no one puts plants on the what's it list, do they? What do you call it? The fixtures and fittings.
No, they don't. And like some places have some really like seriously important or specialist plants, like you were saying, but they don't ever go on that list, do they?
Put a magnolia on your fixture and fittings. Take it, leave it. Yeah, what? But what I thought you were going to say is that you visit a garden, you never take a cutting, but you're happy to lift the plant and divide it on site. Like you go to like RHS Hyde Hall. You don't see anything wrong with lifting a miscanthus and just splitting it up. That's getting a cutting.
I take the whole plant. I don't just take a cutting. Come on, if you're going to do it properly.
But sadly, I guess, you know, this sort of the practice of taking the whole plant and cuttings and stuff is becoming more and more, isn't it? Because people are getting more into specialist plants. There's really a lot of recognition of the value of plants. And I remember in Cambridge, did I tell you, I went to this almost like a seminar for investment, and part of it was obviously the investment in plants. And there's a really, really cool girl there called, what's her name? Cheryl? I think it's Cheryl from Canada. And she was like investing in the stock market. That's her kind of career background. And then she got into investing in plants, you know, and obviously then kind of, you know, trading them, kind of seeing the value go up and down. And isn't that interesting and fascinating that plants have become, you know, some sort of a trading commodity almost? It's really cool.
It's interesting and fascinating, but also like kind of just very typical of humans, isn't it? At the end of the day, like we kind of monetize everything, don't we? Where plants are just plants, they're happy just to grow.
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, obviously, different plants got different values, even commercially, dependent on, you know, how easy they are to propagate, the length of growing on time as well. So yeah, sure. It's an interesting world once you dive into it all, Ellen. But I'd advise you not to steal plants. Basically, that's my moral of the story.
Yeah, we're basically not condoning stealing plants or taking cutting whatsoever, really. And how was your garden and all of your plants when you got back from your trip? Because you're only just back from being away for, you know, quite a few weeks.
Yeah, well, you were looking after them, and I got back, and they're all dead. Not really.
Not true.
No, they're
Not
fine.
true.
And do you know what? It's always cool when you come back off a trip and you get like a number of different surprises. Now look at this.
That is so beautiful.
My Lachenalia.
The Lachenalia photograph is on Instagram, isn't it? I think I saw that this morning.
Yeah, I made a reel with my new turntable as well.
Is it a cake stand is what I want to know.
I don't know, actually. It's got a velvet
It
base.
looks like yeah, that's a cake stand. I've got
Oh, is
one
it?
exactly the same. Yeah.
But oh my God, it's just, it's amazing. And I was experimenting with a few different kind of summer flowering bulbs as kind of, to have them as kind of house plants here and there. And yeah, my Lachenalia have just surpassed my expectations. Although I did plant 6, 3 different varieties, and only the Aqua Lady have got flowers on so far. The other ones are coming. I've also got over there Achimines, the hot water plant, and some Gloxinia coming on as well. So yeah, it's cool. But it's funny because when you look at plants every day, they never bloody grow. But when you go away from them, you come back and they do, which is
Of
cool.
course. It's just like if you haven't seen a child for ages, all of a sudden they've really grown.
I know. But no, I had a lovely time in Holland at the flower trials, finding all sorts of new plants and concepts. And yeah, it's really an essential part of the trade horticultural calendar, I would say. Oh my God, honestly, Ellen, double flowered Alströmerias. They're just like mind-boggling because they look
I've got to say, the pictures look
circular, like a
amazing.
run.
Yeah, and I've got to be honest with you, dare I say this, but that's a vast improvement on Alströmerias. Like, they last ages in a vase.
Yeah.
If you cut them, they are amazing. And I do like them, they're pretty. But I'm also not completely struck with them. Do you know what I mean? I've got some
they're
growing.
a sort of shape, and I think the symmetry that you get from the extra layer of petals actually makes it more like a circular look. Yeah,
It looks very, very nice. I like them very much.
Definitely. So yeah. So
Was there any other star finds apart from that one? Was there anything that really stuck out in your mind?
Oh God, no, loads all over the place. Like in terms of perennial candy tuft, like some new types there. What are some really cool dahlias, like nice kind of like dwarf ones for pots, but some really funky different colours and colour changing. Like colour changing is quite a movement in plants at the moment. But, colour changing, like to give away trade secrets, is really a cool way to market plants that have variations in colour. Whether that is that the breeding is not so like true to type, which then, that is kind of then you're getting this blend of colours from the whole colour spectrum that then can be marketed as a product. But it could also be, in the case of like Calibrachoa miniature petunias, the colours vary a lot in different heat conditions. But like brilliantly, breeders have made a real marketing point out of that you can then have these colour changing, kind of shape shifting petunias and Calibrachoas. So it's really, I love it when marketing kind of spins to meet the plant halfway. And yeah, it's really cool. What else? Begonias, like, the kind of Rex type begonias. There's a lot of breeding for those kind of outdoor as well as indoor. And I see now quite a few different plants that can be used indoor, outdoor, like quite openly. So obviously your Semponiums, your Aeoniums, Mangava as well. And now, Begonia Rex that can grow outside in a sunny position as well, which is cool because then the consumer's not then panic too much about growing indoor, outdoor. It's kind of taking the choice away from them almost, which is kind of...
That's pretty cool. Like, I know you're kind of absorbed in this world, and I'm not like on the trade side whatsoever, but it fascinates me, when I see all your posts and you talk about it. I think it's just so interesting. And the marketing side of things as well, I do particularly love. Like, I'm so surprised that nobody has picked up on Wine-Eyed Jill, the dahlia, yet. I bang on about her every year. She's just this very, like, nondescript pink dahlia, okay? Like pom-pom dahlia. But the centre is red, so like a really dark maroon, like wine. So hence Wine-Eyed Jill, right? But throughout the season, she changes colours. She goes to like a light pink, and then she goes yellow as she's kind of fading out. And throughout the season, you get a minimum of 3 changes of colour. So it's like having a 3-in-1 dahlia. Yeah, like, and I've posted about it every year consistently for so many years. It's my favourite dahlia because it is genuinely like having 3 in 1. It's really cool,
It's really cool.
But I don't ever see it marketed like that. It's just like Wine-Eyed Jill, that she is. But actually, and then the picture of just the pink with the red, eye. Do you know what I mean? But actually, if you show all the different shades that she goes throughout the year, it's quite incredible.
That's really cool. And there's
cool
also,
dahlia.
have you seen this one called Rebecca's World? And that actually kind of changes, like sometimes it's fully red, sometimes it's kind of broken colours as well. That's quite a cool one too.
Yeah,
and again,
really cool.
it's kind of making that like a good marketing point of something that isn't fixed. But
Right.
also at the same time, it is weird when I'm like there in Holland and Germany kind of, then I show production sites at nurseries and this and that. Somehow people want to keep horticulture as a kind of cute cottage industry where everyone's like planting stuff very slowly in sheds, this and that. But we kind of have to admit, like, it is a commercial world as well. And we seem to have this weird kind of guilt about that in the UK. And of course, you know, to create the amount of plants that are used in supermarkets, kind of garden centres, garden centre chains, you've got to have some degree of automation as well. So it's interesting because I went to 2 Kalanchoe nurseries and I went to one that was almost completely computerized. And so even it would be able to tell, you know, whether the plant had enough flowers or not, and then it would reject it and put it in. It would then put it onto a tray that was then lifted up to the ceiling. So it then got more light. So it then brought on the flowers and the machine would do all of this. And of course, that is then like one side of the production where it is automated and kind of you can produce a lot very quickly. And the demand is obviously there for that. But also we went to another one where it had a lot more specialist varieties that couldn't be automated. And at that place, everything was done by hand because there was no other option, because those plants were a little bit more pernickety. They would grow at different rates, this and that. So that proves that kind of the more specialist plants are still there, but there's obviously, you know, a big thirst for kind of your, you know, things to be commercially produced as well. So it's a real world out there, you know?
I think it's because there's like this big juxtaposition, isn't there? But like the horticulture industry is like a £1 billion industry, yet we're dealing with nature, like with plants. So it's almost like it's like that's just nature and outdoors, and we shouldn't really want to talk about us monetizing it.
And
we
we shouldn't want to make money out of it as well. But again, it's an industry that is valuable. And if you look at the Netherlands, they appreciate the value of that, you know? Like, I don't know why we're always so ashamed of it. So silly.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go.
Grumble.
Grumble.
Still vegan?
There it is. One day when you ask me that question, what about if I say, no, I'm not. I ate a massive steak last night. Would that shock you?
You cute little plank.
You're so offensive. The allotment's fine, thank you. It's good, actually, considering that I can't be there as much as I have been in previous years. So it's sort of on the down low a little bit.
I see that you're there all the time.
And shall I tell you something? I'm good. Sorry, I'm going to go into ramble now. I was talking to my husband about this yesterday.
Yeah.
If I post that I went to the allotment and I watered and it took me 20 minutes, say, and I took 5 photographs while I was there and I posted that to Instagram, everyone seems to think that I'm there all day, every day on the allotment and I go there loads.
And you're there all day, every day, right?
But do you see what I mean? It's like this perception that someone's doing this one thing their whole life. But I'm not there a lot or often at all. I go when I can to water and do the bits that need doing, but it is on the down low a little bit more this year compared to previous years because I just haven't had the time and I'm not going to have the time this year. But regardless of that, no dig is keeping the weeds down, and just sort of planning in advance has really, really helped. So yeah, it is all good. And I think I've probably got more cut flowers growing down there than I have vegetables this year. But it's looking like it's good. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm going to have plenty of veg coming off, enough for me anyway. So yeah, I'm happy with it. And even if I don't get down there as much as usual, I enjoy every minute of it. Like I do love going down. You know, I do. It's like my favourite place in the world, no matter what.
Do you ever work there? Like, do you ever do some writing there? Or is there probably some covenant that says you can't legally do that?
No. I'm sure I can.
I love an allotment role.
In the past, not this year, but in the past, I have tried to do that. But there's a few things. First of all, the signal is really, really bad. So if you do want to get online,
then but I guess maybe you have to research something.
Yeah. And also, I find that I go there to not work. Like I specifically go there for time out, to not work. So no, I don't really do any work. I go and sometimes I just go in the evening. If I'm here on my own and my husband's not back, I might go and have my dinner there. Like I'll sit and just, potter and eat my dinner. That's probably the nicest time of day, really. And So all is good on the plot. I had to stop because I was talking and you were looking at me and laughing. I wish people could see our video sometimes of the expressions on our faces.
What expression did I have?
Oh, you were just like, oh, you're so cute. That kind of expression. You're such a cutie. You're so cute.
Dribbling on. Honestly. Hey, Ellen, have you ever lined your baskets with sheep wool?
No, funnily enough, because I'm vegan.
Oh, no. But surely they just shed it, don't they? Oh, God, I'm going down a hole. I'm not sure I want to be here. I'm already there.
I don't want to go down that hole. Please don't. I can't handle it.
No, I saw someone had done it last week and I thought it looked quite cool anyway. But what I might do is I might use one of my own jumpers because that would be cool as well.
One of your own sheep wool jumpers. Yeah, I did see the packet, and it's I guess it would work just the same. Maybe it has good drainage. I don't really know. I've never tried anything like that before.
Well, I don't know really. Do you know?
I'd be interested to see.
I'm so this middle part. You came to my garden a couple of weeks ago. The week you burnt my house down. Have we told people on the podcast about? Have we told them about that?
Yeah, we do.
Anyway, so in the middle, in this middle bit where the alliums were, I really planned that so stupidly because it's just green. I didn't put any and this is I tell you what, this garden was so experimental. It's I haven't designed it with any sight lines in mind or anything so it's really. It's really a practice in what not to do sometimes. But, I'm not a garden designer. I've never pretended to be.
There's nothing wrong with the colour green, by the way.
No, I know. But when I'm looking in other areas, I'm oh, that's just so green in the middle, But I look at green and I'm kind of I don't know, expecting more colour there. But anyway,
there's nothing wrong with green.
I'm dribbling on a lot there. But no, so I'm looking at that and thinking, oh, this corner's just a bit green. And then these Portuguese laurel that still don't grow. But then the cherry laurel here, they're bloody growing bilio. And I'm just ugh. And then the other day I was almost considering doing a midsummer move of the actual laurels, which obviously is I know.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You will regret it. Wait until tomorrow. You will totally regret it.
Oh, but I think I regret how much of a monster cherry laurel actually is as well. It really does grow, doesn't it?
Well, you cannot get something in between. You're I don't like these Portuguese laurel because they don't grow enough, and no, the cherry laurel's too much. This is the fun of gardening, Michael. It keeps you entertained.
Honestly, and I've got some wild piece of oh my God, my front garden is it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Because the Verbena bonariensis are nearly up to the first floor, and all this Calamagrostis, where it is along the wall, it's almost created this dense mat that's almost like a hedge. I can barely see out to the neighbours, which is kind of cool because then you've got this privacy, but then you've still got the light coming in over the top, obviously. But it's at
the front of mine, I've just got a massive buddleia. No one can see in. And someone actually said, "Are you going to chop that down?" And I was like, "No, because it's full of it gets covered in red admiral butterflies, and it's privacy. So no, I'm not cutting it down. I love it.
The light is still coming in perfectly well,
Exactly. Well, there you go. Look at us with our fun front garden.
But Ellen, isn't the soil dry?
It's been immensely dry, we have not had enough rain. But can I just say that my allotment, for example, has a heavy mulch of plant grow, and that has most definitely helped to retain the moisture. I cannot tell you, of any thick mulch that is. Like, I'm not just saying them, but that's what I use. And I've given it a very thick mulch, and it has genuinely helped. And I have watered far less than I've seen some of my neighbours have to water. So mulching is definitely a good thing.
But can it not be, like with that, quite confusing and deceiving, because you'd look at the soil and it would look dry?
Yeah, it looks dry on top.
Beyond that mentally, you know?
You just know. Like, I think and to be fair, on some occasions I have gone down and literally put my hands in the soil. Like, I've moved the mulch away to see, and it's moist beneath the mulch, but the top layer does look completely dry. But mulching is definitely the way forward in dry times, and it definitely has helped. So, and it's keeping the weeds at bay as well. So.
Yeah, but of course you need to plan for that. It's not like you could suddenly mulch now and it would lock the moisture in, right?
Well, I think you could mulch. Right? I do mine in autumn or late winter, early spring, as long as the ground isn't like waterlogged or frozen or whatever. But you can mulch. You could mulch really at any time, but you would maybe just mulch around the plant. So, you know, like if you've got some nice leaf mulch or some nice homemade compost, mulching at any point is going to help you retain that moisture. So, yeah. Definitely.
Okay. Cool. Wow, that all sounds great, darling.
There you go. Thanks for chatting. But my husband is home from North Carolina at the moment. He's not back for very long. And I feel like he's started to get bored of me talking about plants with you, because he's kind of appeared and he's making a bit more noise than he had been. Like, kind of like, hey, I'm still here.
So he can
he's like rustling. He's rustling in the crisp packet, and he's turned the kettle on, and like all the things that he was being really quiet when we first started. I kind of get the feeling like he's trying to say, hey,
this
I'm
is
here.
the time. This is the moment. And of course, like my one, he's shy, so he won't come on.
Oh no, absolutely. He would absolutely wouldn't do that. But he's just making himself known. So I'm gonna go now.
Cool. All right, darling. Well, it's really nice to see you, and good luck with the rash. I don't think it shows, personally. Not when you wear that pattern dress.
Oh my gosh.
Bye.
Bye. Series 7 of the Plant-Based Podcast is brought to you with the help of Hillier Garden Centres,
bringing you over 155 years of horticultural expertise.
Shop their top quality British grown plants,
both across their 19 garden centre locations or online.
And to find your local centre or shop online, visit hillier.co.uk.
Or search Hillier Garden Centres on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for inspiration on creating your ideal garden. The music for the Plant-Based Podcast is part of the song Grow by Mikey James, and our editor is Gareth Patch of Semi Echo.